When we're younger, we don't quite realize how much of an impact our siblings have on our lives and our emotions. And I was one of those people for a long time because my brother and I weren't particularly best friends when we were younger. But as we grew up and we got older, we actually started to become closer and closer. Brandon, my brother, and I actually became super close during his senior year of high school because that also happened to be my freshman year of high school, and we spent a lot of time driving to and from school together. So it was really inevitable for us to become close. Um, but you can imagine how hard it was when I realized that my brother was going away the next year for college, and he was still going to school in Washington State, but it was about 5 hours away. So I was still really emotional about it. And I still really remember how emotional it was for me to actually drop him off. I remember that day so well. It was so early in the morning. The sky was filled with fluorescent colors, and the sun was just barely peeking over the mountains. I could hear my dad's truck rumbling in the garage, and that meant it was time to go. The whole drive was just flooded with every type of emotion we could feel. We were excited, nervous, sad, anxious. But for most of the drive, I just sat there quietly trying to hold back my tears. I could barely comprehend how I was going to live without my best friend for the next year. And at the time, it really did seem impossible to me. We've become so close over the past year, and I didn't want to lose that really strong friendship and bond that we had built up. So to make myself feel better, I wrote my brother about a 3-page letter just detailing, the reasons I love him and why he's so amazing. And I hid this letter in his sock drawer right before we left to leave him at school. And I wanted him to be able to refer back to that if he ever got homesick. But when we actually left Pullman that day, I was just so emotionally distraught. I didn't know how to cope with the feelings I had. I thought the sadness I was feeling was going to be there forever. But with a little bit of time apart in space as well, we actually have become even closer. I learned that time and space is something good and necessary, and that my brother going to school 5 hours away was actually a positive thing. And the most important thing that came from this is that we both grew as individuals, we developed, and we became our own person, and that really allowed us to appreciate each other much more than we ever could have. So what I want to reiterate is don't worry about being scared, anxious, sad about growing up and becoming your own person, because in the end, these things happen for a reason, and they're positive things. So just keep a positive outlook and enjoy the journey.